Yep, that's what it is in Indianapolis as well. I see James is with us, Catherine, Douglas. Welcome everyone. We'll get started in just a few seconds or about a minute. But we're so glad that you're with us today for this amazing celebration. So nice to see so many different KDP members from all over the country and world. I know we have some people joining us from outside of the United States today too, so that's exciting.
Yes, very exciting.
And if you want to look in the chat, there will be messages in the chat, and we're asking everyone to kind of introduce yourself, if you will, so you can see where everyone is representing today. Ah, Tia, Illinois State University. Jill, you and I grad, one of Dr. Fortgang's former students. Jill is here, Dr. Fortgang, from graduating in 2010. We're glad you can be here, Jill. James Barnes
Awesome.
is also here, Dr. Fortgang.
All right. I think we're ready to begin.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Misty Haythcock, KDP's president of the National Board of Directors. Welcome to KDP's virtual Founders Day celebration. KDP is the premier national professional association and honor society for educators. I am honored to be with fellow KDP members from around the country today. It's a wonderful occasion to gather for this special occasion. I love seeing friends, old friends, and new faces. Thank you for sharing your valuable time today to honor KDP champions and celebrate 114 years of our amazing KDP community. During our celebration, we will be sharing information with you in the chat, so please check the chat and join in the conversation. Joining us is our KDP's National Board of Directors, and I want to personally thank you for your service to KDP and giving of your time, talents, and treasures to support our mission. We also have KDP staff members attending today as well. So I'd ask at this time if board members and staff members will please wave and say hello to everyone. It has truly been my pleasure to serve as your national board president for nearly 3 years. As my term ends on June 30th, we will welcome Dr. Angela Goodloe as board president. Dr. Goodloe has been a member of KDP since 2007 and remains committed to our mission to inspire and equip teachers to thrive. Angela?
Hi, thank you, Misty. I know all of you remember and probably know on March 8th, 1911, a vision for inclusive excellence in education took root at the University of Illinois. Dr. William Bagley and a small group of forward-thinking educators founded Kappa Delta Pi, known as KDP, an honor society that would change the landscape of education forever. Our founding principle was simple yet revolutionary. to honor and support all exceptional educators, regardless of gender, race, or background. This commitment to inclusivity and excellence has been a guiding star for over a century. KDP has evolved to become the premier national professional association and honor society for education, an honor society for educators particularly, annually representing more than 20,000 teacher members and 650 chapters. Each year in March, we celebrate KDP's Founders Day as a time to honor our roots and recognize outstanding members who embody the visionary spirit and our founders. You are part of this prestigious community that includes KDP legacy members such as John Dewey, Albert Einstein, Eleanor Roosevelt, George Washington Carver, Margaret Mead, and many others who have transformed the field of education. Your impactful role within KDP is valued, and your presence makes this special event an even more memorable.
It is now my pleasure to award 3 outstanding KDP members with our highest recognition, KDP's Founders Awards. These 3 awards were launched at KDP's Centennial Celebration in 2011. As a tribute to KDP's founding members and their vision for KDP's prominent role in the field of education, these Founders Awards honor educators of excellence at the local, national, or global level fulfilling our founders' visions today. Each recipient received their beautiful crystal award prior to today's celebration. Co-presenting with me is Sam Presento, KDP's Chief Advancement and Partnership Officer, as well as Tonya Egan, KDP's Chief Executive Officer. We ask that you please hold your applause until all the awards are announced. You are encouraged to put celebratory comments in the chat or use your Zoom reactions.
The Dr. William C. Bagley Award for Leadership Excellence is given to an individual who has demonstrated a sustained effort in leadership excellence within KDP and the education profession at the local, national, or global level. Dr. William C. Bagley, who lived from 1874 to 1946, founded KDP in 1911. He was committed to the growth and strengthening of KDP throughout his life. He also established the University of Illinois School of Education, focusing his career on educating teachers and developing curriculum for the education of teachers.
Dr. Elizabeth Elliott is a professor emerita of early childhood education in the College of Education at Florida Gulf Coast University and retired in February 2023. While at FGCU, she rose through the ranks and served in a variety of leadership positions, including department chair for the undergraduate division of the College of Education, program coordinator for the early childhood education, child and youth studies, and the internship placement coordinator at various times throughout her career at FGCU. Also, she was the director of the Little Eagles Learning Center, an educational research center for child development on the campus of FGCU. Dr. Elliott served as the KDP counselor for the Omega Epsilon chapter at FGCU for 17 years. She joined KDP as an undergraduate student on May 5th, 1995. She has served in a variety of leadership roles within KDP, such as Chapter Vice President, National Chair of the Budget Committee, Convo Steering Committee, and Chapter Services Committee. She has presented at every Convo since 2005 and is published in the KDP Record. Over the years, Dr. Elliott has mentored hundreds of KDP members from her chapter and with other chapters within the organization. As KDP's National Board President, Dr. Elliott led a national search in 2020 to hire a new KDP CEO and worked diligently to lead KDP through a 3-year global pandemic that was highly disruptive for the field of education. She facilitated KDP's restructuring during the pandemic to ensure KDP remained relevant and impactful for educators. She completes her 7th year of service on the National Board in June 2025. Dr. Elliott received the Florida Association for the Education of Young Children Advocate of the Year in 2017. Additionally, she received a Teaching Excellence Award from FGCU. She has garnered over $5 million in grant funding, all dedicated toward the field of education. Her research interests include international, national, and state publications in leadership development, emergent literacy, and teacher preparation. Dr. Elliott has received numerous honors for her teaching, mentoring, service, and leadership. She was proudly inducted into KDP's Eleanor Roosevelt chapter in 2023. Prior to university teaching, Liz was a public school teacher in the Florida Keys. She is a 5th-generation Florida native. However, after receiving her PhD from the University of Tennessee, she'll be a proud Vole for life. Congratulations, Liz. I invite you to share a few words.
Thank you, Misty. I'm a little overwhelmed by this, and I thank you certainly isn't enough. I'm truly humbled and honored by this from KDP, as KDP has been an integral part of not only my professional life, but my personal life for almost 30 years. And as you said, my journey did begin as an undergraduate student, and it continues today as I serve on our national board for these next few months. The people I've met along the way, I consider family more than just friends, they're family. My greatest reward working with KDP came at the chapter level and working with teacher candidates at our chapter Omega Epsilon at FGCU. I worked there for almost 25 years, and our university quite surprised me by putting this on their LinkedIn page and on their Facebook page. And I received several comments from former students. And 2 particular ones really struck me. And one said, I still remember my years with KDP at FGCU and getting to meet Harry Wong at a conference you took us to. You are an inspiration for all teachers. And another one said, I was your student in 2007. And you still inspire me today. And that's kind of hard for me to even say, but it says it all to me what KDP has provided for me. My life commitment to teachers and to the field of teaching has molded my life and will continue in the future, even though I am retired. Dr. Bagley, whom this award is named after, once said, education is the noblest of calling. I truly believe that is the case, and I am honored to be a member of Kappa Delta Pi and to receive this honor, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, thank you so much, Liz. It's been really wonderful to see this recognition for you. And now I'm excited to share the Dr. Truman L. Kelly Award for Scholarship Excellence is given to an individual who has demonstrated a sustained effort in scholarship excellence within KDP and the education profession at the local, national, and global level. Dr. Truman L. Kelly lived from 1884 to 1961 and was instrumental in the founding of KDP. He was a noted scholar who made an impact in American education through his work in statistics and education. He also had an interest in the sciences and psychology. Dr. Clement grew up hearing heartfelt stories from her mother about when she taught in a one-room country school in the 1940s. Her mother's stories were at the root of Dr. Clement's 44-year career as an educator. She began teaching high school Spanish and French in 1979 in Monticello, Illinois. She loved sharing her knowledge of languages and telling students about her junior year abroad in Barcelona, Spain. But something was missing, so off she went to graduate school. After attending a series of Saturday workshops for language teachers at Illinois State University, Dr. Clement was invited to earn her master's degree there whilst teaching Spanish 101. Next came her doctorate from the University of Illinois in curriculum and instruction. Her doctoral program was built on the premise that she would be a teacher educator upon completion. As a teacher educator, she worked several years as the director of the beginning teacher program at Eastern Illinois University and taught classes for first and second year teachers. Dr. Clement also began teaching administrators how to hire, induct, and support new teachers, which led to her research agenda. At Eastern Illinois, she had the good fortune to find out about and join KDP through the Beta Psi chapter. The last 26 years of her career were at Berry College, north of Atlanta, Georgia, where Dr. Clement taught undergraduate and graduate courses, did a lot of research and publishing, and spoke at conferences in the United States and abroad. She published 2 popular books with KDP, The Induction Connection, Facilitating New Teacher Success, and The ABCs of Job Hunting for Teachers. She also extensively served KDP as Vice President and President of the Executive Council, on numerous committees, as a reviewer of the Educational Forum and the KDP Record, and as a KDP counselor of the Rho Upsilon chapter for 10 years. Dr. Clement was proudly inducted into KDP's honorary Eleanor Roosevelt chapter in 2019. At her retirement reception, her department chair presented her with a plaque that read, 14 books and 165 articles published, infinite presentations, and 3,000 students taught at Berry College. That was Dr. Clement's career, and KDP was there for support every step of the way. Congratulations, Mary. I invite you to share a few words.
Thank you so much for those very kind words and that nice introduction. When Misty, our president, called me several weeks ago with the news of this award, I was touched, I was humbled, I was grateful, and I was very, very excited. So thank you, Misty, Tonya, and everyone at Kappa Delta Pi. Yes, at my retirement reception in 2023, my department chair at Berry College did indeed give me that plaque outlining the students, the publications, the presentations. Wow. The plaque didn't even mention a couple of others I won from the American Association for Employment in Education, and that one of my books was actually a runner-up for an International Book Award. At the reception, I kept thinking, how on earth did all of this happen to me? Well, Kappa Delta Pi was a monumental support in my research and writing career. My very first publication, I wouldn't call an article. I would call it a blurb because it was so short. It was published in what was then the New Teacher Advocate, and it gave me the confidence to write and submit to other journals. Several years ago, I installed a new Kappa Delta Pi chapter in Alabama, And one of the young assistant professors there asked me for advice on writing and publishing. Well, I wasn't sure what to say, but I did talk about three things. And I'm going to repeat them here just in case they might help someone else who's trying to get started with their writing agenda. First of all, we need to write about what we do, especially if we're writing about things that enhance student success. Our student successes need to be shared. Secondly, it's good to find a research area that can do double duty. My primary research area was the hiring of new teachers, and I had multiple audiences. I wrote a lot for administrators on how to hire the best new teachers. I wrote research articles for other teacher educators so that they would understand what the job market was like for their student teachers. I wrote very short, practical, readable articles for student teachers themselves because it's not always easy to get that first job. And I wrote some articles that were for practicing teachers about getting their next job. So really, one research area and multiple audiences. My third piece of advice is one I'm not sure it's easy for people to handle and do. My third piece of advice is make time to write. Now, make time and just write. Not everything you write will get published immediately. In fact, I had quite a few rejections, and I would read what the reviewers said and then try to improve it. But again, we have to just sit down and write. I hope my short story about writing and scholarship helps others. Above all, one piece of advice I give everyone is stay current with the profession. And Kappa Delta Pi will help you always to stay current in the profession. Research, writing, and publication can often be a challenge, but it's so important to share our work. We need to share work that will enhance student success. Those are my words. Thank you again, Kappa Delta Pi.
The Dr. Thomas E. Musselman Award for Service Excellence is given to an individual who has demonstrated a sustained effort in service excellence within KDP and the education profession at the local, national, or global level. Dr. Thomas E. Musselman lived from 1887 to 1976 and was president of the Illinois Education Club at the time the club was exploring the possibility of merging with other clubs on a national level. He helped ensure that the ideals of KDP membership as an educator without regard to any racial, religious, or other restrictions were upheld.
After being an undergraduate at the University of Chicago, Dr. Fortgang participated in the Council of Federated Organizations Mississippi Summer Project. He then enrolled in the Urban Teacher Preparation Program at Syracuse and taught fourth grade for several years in the inner city before enrolling in a PhD program. From there, he moved on to an education position for 5 years at Hofstra University. Dr. Fortgang created a course, Policing and Teaching, designed for police officers and teachers. He taught sociology to police in New York precinct houses for the New York Institute of Technology. From 1975 to 2013, he taught in the Department of Educational Psychology and Foundations at the University of Northern Iowa. He was immediately appointed faculty counselor of its Kappa Delta Psi Psi chapter, and his love affair with KDP got underway. He quickly discovered the joy of being surrounded by the very best undergraduate education students, and with bright, idealistic chapter leaders, he began to create multiple programs, projects, events, trips, conferences, and eventually chapter scholarships. Each program was specifically designed to fulfill the KDP ideals to expand the horizons of future teachers while serving widely different school populations and adults. Eventually, Dr. Fortgang became interested in the Core Knowledge Foundation and his trips to its national conferences. Some of its schools joined the many options available to Psi chapter members, and this sparked a unique KDP content and teaching program at which members presented at open sessions, explaining basic subject matter material they found not widely available in their courses. And in that spirit, the Psi chapter and Dr. Fortgang started and continued to support a national KDP scholarship whose criteria emphasized command and love of knowledge. Dr. Fortgang became increasingly involved in Kappa Delta Pi's national and international life. He met Dr. Irvin Cockriel at Convo, which led to an exchange of chapter visits with the Mu Delta chapter at the University of Missouri, Columbia. This resulted in the development of a UNI KDP scholarship program that now awards 7 scholarships each semester. Dr. Fortgang's involvement came to include membership on the foundation board, service as a Midwest regional liaison, Iowa area representative, many committee memberships, recipient of the Lucinda Rose Counselor Award, leadership at regional meetings, and many combo presentations, which multiple Psi chapter students attended and presented as well. Dr. Fortgang also was a member of the inaugural class of the Eleanor Roosevelt chapter. In retirement, Dr. Fortgang continues to provide advice and counsel to the UNI Psi chapter. Congratulations, Dr. Fortgang, and I invite you to share a few words.
Thank you so much, Ms. Egan. Hello, everyone. What an honor and pleasure it is to speak to you today at our Founders Day celebration and to accept with humility and gratitude the Thomas E. Musselman Service Excellence Award. Serving as faculty counselor to the Psi chapter at the University of Northern Iowa became one of the most inviting and fulfilling teaching and learning opportunities in my entire educational career. Participating and leading workshops at convos and serving on the foundation board and many committees and as Midwest Regional Liaison and Iowa representative enriched my education and deepened my commitment and fidelity to the founding and continuingly beautiful, sacred ideals of fidelity to humanity, science, service, and toil. Psi chapter's idealistic student officers and members, now under the dedicated leadership of Dr. Becky Hawbaker, created exciting, ambitious, and unique educational and service programs that deepened and widened the knowledge, values, educational ideals, and experiences of participating Kadelpians. I hope many of these very bright and inspiring people are tuned in today. Truly, your responsiveness, commitment, and actions during your time as student leaders and your multiple achievements since provide any justification there might be for my receiving this magnificent award. You have aimed high and worked hard and imaginatively to enhance the knowledge and lives of your students communities, states, country, and beyond, as Kappa Delta Pi has asked of its members since its 1914 founding. All of us are happy to celebrate and help our proud organization continue to provide this inspiration on into the distant future. Thank you.
Congratulations again to Liz, Mary, and Stephen. You may now unmute and give them a round of applause, and let's shower them with appreciation in the chat. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations to all
Thank
those
you.
students here.
Congratulations.
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 Love you, Mary.
Congratulations.
Thank you for that wondrous round of applause. Please mute as we continue our exciting program. I would like to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Kevin Wong. He is an associate professor of education and chair of the Masters in TESOL program at Pepperdine University in the Graduate School of Education and Psychology. He is the co-editor of the TESOL Journal and managing editor of the Teacher Advocate by KDP. Take it away, Kevin.
Thank you so much. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's wonderful to be here. It's an absolute honor to celebrate KDP Founders Day, a moment to reflect on the power of education and the community that sustains us. As I look back on my own journey, and I do have a few pictures that I'd love to share with you in slides, I can say with certainty that KDP has been more than an organization to me. It's been a guiding force, a support system, and a source of inspiration at every stage of my career. So on the next slide, please, these photos first take me back to my early days. I'm going to bring you on a journey as an English teacher in Hong Kong, the place where I was born and raised. After earning my teaching credential at Duke University in North Carolina, I actually returned home to Hong Kong to teach in the public schools. And it was during those years that I first understood what it meant to really belong to something bigger, to be part of a global network of educators that were striving for excellence. Because you see, even from across the world, KDP reminded me that I wasn't alone in this work. It provided a professional home where my growth as both an educator and an academic was nurtured. And in 2014, when I was honored with the KDP's Teacher of Honor Award, it was more than just a recognition. It was a reaffirmation that I was on the right path. Next slide, please. So after 6 years in the classroom, I did take a leap of faith, so to speak. Teaching had given me so much, but I had just so many questions that I was asking and wondering about, and I wanted to contribute to education in a new way through research that could support teachers and also ultimately their students. And so I pursued my doctorate, focusing on how children from linguistically and culturally diverse backgrounds maintain their languages and become bilingual. This was more than an academic interest, it was also personal. And I had seen firsthand how language shapes identity, language shapes opportunity, as well as a sense of belonging. And on this journey, KDP once again played a pivotal role in my journey. I was honored to receive 2 different scholarships, the Deborah P. Wolf Laureate Scholarship in Multicultural Education in 2017, as well as the Paul R. Hanna Laureate Scholarship in Childhood Education in 2018. And these weren't just financial awards, they were affirmations. KDP saw me not just as a researcher, but as a teacher researcher, which is really important to me, and I'm sure this community as well. They reminded me that our fields thrive when we really bring our full selves to the work and don't work in silos. Next slide, please. So these photos here are some of my greatest treasures, just like many of yours, I'm sure, images of my students now. The greatest privilege of my career has been to learn with and from them. Their insights, their stories, and their passion remind me why we do the work. And just like when I taught young children, I do cherish so much when I hear from my former students. I love hearing about their classrooms, their research now, their dreams. And it's a beautiful reminder that teaching is never just about one moment. It's about that lasting impact that we have on each other over time. And so KDP understands this deeply. You know, their mission is to inspire and equip teachers to thrive. And I see that reflected in my students who are now leading the way in their own communities. Next slide, please. And so over the years, I've been privileged to take the conversation beyond my classroom, speaking at conferences and gatherings, both internationally and domestically, on the importance of culturally and linguistically responsive education. And these moments captured in these photos here represent more than just presentations. They are conversations, they're collaborations, they're opportunities to inspire change. And so wherever I go, KDP's mission of teaching with excellence is always with me, whether I'm teaching students or giving a lecture of sorts. Because you see, education is not just about delivering content, it's about building thriving communities, ensuring that every child in every classroom has that opportunity to learn, to grow, and to succeed. And that's what drives me, and I'm certain that that's what drives all of us here too. Next slide, please. And so at the heart of my work is a simple but powerful question now. How do we empower teachers? In my research, I've worked alongside teachers in many different contexts, supporting engagement in virtual environments, you can see in the top left, working with educators in rural villages in the Philippines and Cambodia on the top right, collaborating with Mandarin teachers in bilingual schools here in the United States on the bottom left, and partnering with literacy educators to foster conversations about identity with children using children's literature, like Mixed Me there in the bottom. And yes, sometimes this work also takes unexpected and wonderful turns. And so I've recently had the honor of advising PBS on the upcoming revamp of the Super Y series, so you can check it out soon, to help ensure that literacy education on screen reflects the best of what we know about language development and language teaching. But you know, no matter the project, the goal remains the same: to support teachers because teachers change lives. KDP has always understood that, and it is why I remain so committed to its vision. Next slide, please. And so education isn't just about what happens in the classroom, it's also about how we share knowledge, support communities, and create lasting change as a result. And that's why I'm so passionate about publishing and research as well. And so I've been fortunate to share my work in a variety of places, and now I have the deep honor of serving as the managing editor of The Teacher Advocate, KDP's peer-reviewed online magazine. Through this role, I get to do what I love most: connect research with practice, amplify teachers' voices, and ensure that educators have access to the ideas and innovations that will shape the future of our field. And so as I reflect on my journey from a young English teacher in Hong Kong to a professor, researcher, and editor now, I'm filled with gratitude, gratitude for my students, for my colleagues, and for this incredible KDP community. KDP's values, community, belonging, leadership, and celebration, they've guided me in ways that I could never have imagined. And they remind us that we are not just educators, we're change makers. So to each of you here today, your work matters. Your dedication to students, your commitment to learning, your passion for education, it all matters. And so thank you, KDP, for being a home for educators like me. And thank you all for being part of this incredible community. We're definitely stronger together. And so on the next final slide, since I have a captive audience here, and let's be honest, opportunities like this don't come often, I'd be remiss if I didn't make a small pitch for the Teacher Advocate. So as educators, we all have valuable insights, experiences, and strategies that can inspire and support one another. And as Dr. Clement said in her award acceptance remarks just now, we need to be writing and sharing about what we do. So I invite you to share your ideas, your perspectives, and your teaching tips by submitting to the Teacher Advocate. Your voice matters, and this is a space where we can learn and grow together. The link to the submission to submit a manuscript is on the screen, and we can drop it in the chat later. And I'd love to hear from you and feature your work in future issues. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Wong, for sharing your KDP story. You do incredible work, inspirational in your local community and internationally. We really appreciated your time today. Each year, KDP and the Association of Teacher Educators select the National Student Teacher of the Year to celebrate the exceptional contributions of a student teacher who demonstrates remarkable dedication, skill, and passion for the teaching profession. This prestigious recognition honors those who not only excel in classroom management and instructional strategies, but also forge meaningful connections with students, parents, and colleagues. Through their commitment to fostering inclusive, engaging learning environments, these outstanding educators inspire others and set a high standard for the future of education. Ashlyn Bergathon is a 2024 graduate of Baylor University in Waco, Texas, earning a bachelor's degree in secondary education and mathematics. She was initiated into the KDP Beta Xi chapter at Baylor University in 2021. Ashton completed her student teaching at Robinson High School in Robinson, Texas, and is currently enjoying her first year teaching there. She was selected as the 2024 KDP and ATE National Student Teacher of the Year. She will be in New Orleans next week at ATE's Gala to receive her award. Ashlyn, I invite you to share a few words.
Hi, my name is Ashlyn Bergathon. I was recently the KDP ATE National Student Teacher of the Year, which is an incredible honor. Teaching has been a passion of mine since 6th grade when I volunteered before school to help a teacher. And also that's the year I got to plan and teach my first lesson, thanks to a teacher that saw my passion and believed in me enough to let me teach a class period. I've always loved helping others and math brings me joy, so I put the two together to form my career of being a high school math teacher. I was given many opportunities to prepare for my career. The first being in high school through a program called Virginia Teachers for Tomorrow, also known as VTFT. I completed internships in a local middle school teaching math to 6th and 8th graders. This program confirmed my love of education. After the 2 years of VTFT, I attended Baylor University, where I immediately was immersed in education and math classes. Baylor University prepares educators beginning in the first semester of freshman year. While at Baylor, I focused on growing in educational strategies through involvement in multiple organizations, including education-focused groups. These groups, such as KDP, provided me with a community of people who love education and strive to be the best for their students. My student teaching in the final 2 years of Baylor pushed me to excel in my teaching abilities and strategies. Dr. Rochelle Rogers of Baylor University consistently asked more of me in my lessons. This was shown through new classroom management ideas or ways to make a lesson more meaningful and engaging to my students. Conceptual understanding is a large focus of my teaching. Through the use of Building Thinking Classrooms by Peter Liedejal, I have been able to create a classroom culture of learning. My internship at Robinson High School challenged me through teaching 3 preps, 2 of which I had never taught before, and learning how to teach full-time. That experience helped me to grow into the educator I am today. An educator who cares about the content and my students. An educator who helps grow students' confidence in a subject most do not enjoy. An educator who wants to make a difference in students' lives. I believe teaching is the best place to help students succeed in life. It all begins with a seed. A quote I love that describes the impact teachers have is teachers plant the seeds that grow forever. Many teachers planted seeds in me, and I am blessed to say I have planted many seeds. And I look forward to continuing to plant seeds and see the wonderful growth of my students for many years to come. Thank you, KDP, for fostering a community that inspires and equips teachers to thrive and gives us a platform to develop as leaders and to celebrate each other's impact on students around the world. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Ashlyn. Congratulations on your amazing work so early in your career. We're excited to see where life takes you as you are a superstar. Now, we want to celebrate each of you joining us today. We're going to do 2 prize giveaways. One for the newest member of KDP attending today's celebration, and then one for the longest member. The prize is a $100 gift card to the KDP store where you can pick up your fancy KDP swag. All right, drop it in the chat. How long have you been a member of KDP? 6 years, says Lana Kennedy.
16
1 year, 16, 1 month. Oh, I think that's the lowest so
month, yeah.
far.
Since October.
5 months, 20. I think Dr. Petrie is saying 20 years. 1 year from Angelia. 23 from Shannon. Oh, we got 1 month, 1 month. 5 years from Deshawn. 5 months from Ashley. Grace is making us do math since 2019. Oh, Dr. Heinitz is 40 years. 7 years. 25 from Mary. Marilyn saying 1991.
Lori said 45, but she messaged me directly.
Oh, 45. +18 for Dr. T. 10 for Rachel. 32 from Lance. Uche since 2012. 2021. Oh my goodness, Marie, you're on. It's very good to see you, Marie Grind. 70 years. I think you might be the winner on that one. Can anyone beat 70? What about the newest member? We might have to get more specific than 1 month. All right, we're going to close out the drawing in 5. Does anybody need us to say it out loud if they can't access the chat? All right, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, Stephanie, last minute, 1 week. I think we have our winners with Stephanie Burdette and Marie Grine. Congratulations. So we'll have Natalie message you in the chat to get your information, and we'll get you your prizes.
Yes, we're sorry. Our computer is logged in. This is Dr. Wiley, and we're Lambda Zeta chapter, and we just can't. It's not who you think it is. It's us. Somebody's logged into the computer.
Oh, no problem.
Okay,
We'll
thank
send
you.
a direct message.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bravo to our winners of today's prizes. Enjoy shopping in the KDP store. There's a lot of exciting merchandise there. All of us are so excited about the continued growth and success of KDP, from refining our core values to expanding member benefits, adding new statewide networks, doubling the amount of scholarships awarded, and recently receiving a prestigious award for organizational innovation. And much more is happening at KDP. Today, we have celebrated our Founders Award honorees, our new editor of the Teacher Advocate by KDP, our Student Teacher of the Year, and KDP's community as the premier National Professional Association and Honor Society for educators. And we also celebrate you, as each of you represent the essence of KDP as a prominent community dedicated to teaching excellence. You are the champions in and out of the classroom, and for that, we honor and thank you. Bravo to you. The Founders Day campaign is KDP's largest fundraising event of the year. So let's celebrate our 2025 Founders Fund leaders who are longtime members of KDP and who donate to create a giving match. So dollar for dollar, they match donations in honor of KDP's founding. Thank you for our 2025 top supporters, Marianne Barnum, Dr. Clarissa Gamble Booker, Dr. Tony Conti, Dr. Barbara Day, Dr. Liz Elliott, Dr. Misty Haycock, Dr. Mary Callis, Dr. Pam Kramer-Ertel, Helen Martin, Dr. Ross Palmer, Aaron Steele, and I'm delighted to be part of this group as well. We are incredibly grateful for your significant donations to the Founders Fund. Furthermore, I'd like to recognize all the 2025 Founders Fund leaders. Together, they have created a giving match of $30,405. So let's just pause and take a moment to view these amazing champions. If you have not yet participated in the Founders Day campaign, we would love for you to donate and invest in KDP. In addition to your gift being doubled by the generous match, we have special thank you gifts, including a sticker with an inspirational quote from KDP laureate Dr. Margaret Mead, and a proud member of KDP lunch bag featuring KDP's core values. You can donate online through the link in the chat to give. KDP's national community has an amazing partnership with K-12 Coalition. And we would like to express our sincere gratitude for K-12 Coalition being our Founders Day exclusive sponsor for a second year. We're thrilled to be partnering with a dynamic team at K-12 who are truly dedicated to teaching for the greater good. K-12 Coalition is the parent company to Teaching Channel, Passage Preparation, iTeach, Insight Education Group, and Lavinia Group. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Wendy Amato, Chief Academic Officer of K-12 Coalition. Dr. Amato began teaching in 1991 and has served as a school administrator. She supports educators with resources and tools that improve student learning outcomes. Wendy earned her master's and PhD in curriculum and instruction from the University of Virginia. And you will love her enthusiasm for education and will be amazed to learn of the incredible Teaching Channel exclusive resources you receive as a KDP member. Wendy, it's my pleasure.
Tonya, thank you. Thank you so much for your leadership and for welcoming me today. I am Wendy. I'm the Chief Academic Officer of K-12 Coalition. It's the parent company of Teaching Channel. It's a joy to say Happy Founders Day to KDP. We actually want to say thank you to you all for allowing K-12 Coalition to sponsor today. Our relationship between the organizations is precious to us, so thank you for letting us be here. And congratulations to all who have been honored, awarded, and recognized. What a great event. A shout out to Sam for her careful management and strong communication at all points along the way. If you don't know, I want to make sure that you do. Access to Teaching Channel is a benefit of your KDP membership. And if you haven't already accessed it, you really want to. Teaching Channel offers over 2,000 classroom videos. We have a great collection. It spans the content areas, the subjects, the grades. There's a wide variety of school programs, and they're from the videos come from many geographies. So it's an incredible resource. The videos in the library go from as short as a 1-minute clip that showcases a special moment all the way to a full class lesson. So whether you have 60 seconds or 60 minutes, there's value for you there. Through the Teaching Channel, you can see inside other educators' classrooms, and that's one of the things that teachers say they wish they could have more of, just seeing one another practice. You get to hear teachers explain their instructional strategies because there are interviews and there's narration that accompanies many of the videos. You get lesson ideas, you get tips for classroom management, and we all need that all the time. All of the opportunities help you to elevate and accelerate your teaching excellence. But today, I don't want to be just a commercial for Teaching Channel. I actually want to talk for a moment about what it means to be a founder, because this is a precious day for KDP. At its core, the word founder comes from the Latin fundus. It means base, and it's the same root for the word foundation. We're told to build on solid foundations, and that's what KDP has done and what KDP honors today. The education community has been facing some challenges these days. There are changes, there's some uncertainty, there's a bit of shifting. And so right now, more than ever, we must hold fast to that which is solid and stable and secure. And that is KDP. On this day in 1911, Dr. Bagley founded KDP and even challenged the norms of the time, making an incredible commitment to education. And I like to imagine establishing and building a solid foundation like that, a foundation that's now able to support over 20,000 peers and more than 600 chapters. What a commitment to leaving a legacy, providing a lasting impact, and being deeply meaningful. A real foundation, a real Founders Day. Dr. Bagley's vision was followed by goals that were operationalized into plans, and today, 114 years later, the good work continues by all of you on the screen. So pat yourselves on the back. We have a compass for us to maintain our direction. Despite shifts and changes and challenges, there is good work, and we all need to lean into it in education. So it's an honor and a privilege to partner with KDP to sponsor Founders Day and to share a mission that is centered on teacher excellence. On behalf of the K-12 Coalition and Teaching Channel, congratulations, KDP, and happy Founders Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. You exemplify everything you say and do is teaching excellence. So thank you so much. I want to thank everyone for joining us today for our Founders Day celebration. You are an integral part of the KDP community. We appreciate the Founders Day donations we've received, and we encourage you to donate if you haven't already done so. Please unmute your microphones and join me for a loud round of applause as we celebrate today's honorees, presenters, and all of you, our amazing KDP members, for KDP's 114th Founders Day.
Yay!
Hey.
Yay, KDP.
Congratulations.
We are KDP proud. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. If you would like to stay on after today's event and talk with me or our board president, please feel free to remain in this meeting after we adjourn. There will be a post-event survey that will pop up in your Zoom as you leave today, which we hope you will fill out. But we truly want to thank you, one and all, for sharing your precious time. We know all of you are champions for teaching excellence, and you are KDP. I wish you a wonderful Founders Day, and we are officially adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations to our recipients and our honorees, and thank you all for attending today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Dr.